Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the blueprint for launching a successful business in Bangladesh. We're going to take what seems like a really complex process and turn it into a clear, step-by-step guide that will set you up to win from day one.
Okay, let's kick things off with a quote that really frames our entire conversation. It says, "The single most important part of succeeding in Bangladesh is setting up the company correctly." And that's it. That's the make or break factor between hitting the ground running and hitting a wall of problems down the line.
And just so you know, all this fantastic insight comes from an expert. This whole guide is based on the work of MD Joinal Abdin, who's the founder and CEO of Trade and Investment Bangladesh. He's been doing this for over 18 years, so he knows exactly what he's talking about. We've broken this down into a 6-stage journey for you, taking you all the way from spotting the opportunity to building a real competitive advantage. So let's jump right in with stage 1. So first things first, why Bangladesh? Well, for starters, you've got this massive domestic market and a really competitive manufacturing base. But here's the thing, to actually tap into all that potential, getting your company set up right from the very beginning is, well, it's non-negotiable. You see, a proper, well-documented formation is basically your golden ticket. It's what makes everything else, like opening bank accounts, receiving investment funds, or legally sending your profits home, work smoothly. If you don't have it, you're just signing up for delays and a whole lot of frustration. All right, now for your first really big decision, choosing what kind of presence you'll have. This is a huge deal because it's going to define your entire legal and operational structure in the country. So you definitely want to get this right. This slide really simplifies your choice. You've basically got two main paths. If you're planning to sell in Bangladesh, sign local contracts, and operate for the long haul, a local company is your go-to. It's a separate legal entity. Now, if you're just testing the market or supporting a parent company, a foreign office might work. But, and this is a big but, it often comes with restrictions on earning local revenue.
So the key takeaway here is pretty simple. You have got to answer these strategic questions before you even think about paperwork. How are you actually going to make money? Are you in it for the long term? What are the specific rules for your industry? Your answers to these questions will point you to the right choice.
Okay, let's get into the nuts and bolts of it all. We're going to walk through the actual registration process with the official body that handles all company formations in Bangladesh. That's the Registrar of Joint Stock Companies and Firms, or the RJSC for short. But wait, before we jump into the steps, here's a critical piece of advice from the source material. Don't rush. Seriously, the biggest delays don't come from bureaucracy. They come from investors who haven't done their homework. You need to finalize your company name, your business goals, and your shareholder structure before you start the process.
This slide just breaks it all down beautifully into 4 manageable steps. First, you reserve your company name. Second, you draft your company's constitution. That's your memorandum and articles of association. Third, you send over your initial investment capital. And finally, you get that official certificate of incorporation. Your company is now legally alive.
So you've got the certificate. Congratulations. But hold on, you're not actually ready to do business yet. This next stage is the one that so many investors forget about, and it is absolutely essential to actually get your operations up and running.
Think of this as your post-incorporation go-live checklist. You need a trade license to operate from your office. You need an E-10 to be on the tax authority's radar. You'll probably need VAT registration. And of course, you can't do a thing without a corporate bank account. Skip these and your business is going nowhere fast.
Now, for all you international investors listening, there's a specific path designed just for you. It's meant to ensure you're compliant and to give you that all-important peace of mind when it comes to moving your money. Let's look at who's in charge of that. The main agency you need to know is BIDA, which stands for the Bangladesh Investment Development Authority. Their one-stop service platform, or OSS, is a real game changer. It's an online portal that streamlines the whole process for you. And just to give you an idea of how quick this can be, BIDA's own guidance suggests a processing time of just 16 working days for this service. That's pretty fast, and it really shows a strong commitment to making the country investor-friendly. It's also really important to know about the capital requirements. For some types of foreign offices, you'll need to bring in a minimum of $50,000 within 2 months of getting approved. This is just to make sure the business is properly funded from the start. Okay, let's bring it all home. We've gone through all the steps, all the paperwork, but let's talk about the ultimate payoff. How does getting all this right translate into a real, lasting competitive advantage for your business? Here's the most important mindset shift you can make. Your compliance history, having clean books, filing on time, it isn't just a legal chore you have to do. It's a genuine asset. It actively creates and increases the value of your company. So, why is it so valuable? Well, for one, a clean compliance record makes you incredibly attractive to future investors and partners. It dramatically lowers your risks. It makes audits and dealing with banks a breeze. And if you ever plan to sell your company, it directly boosts its valuation. And that's the big strategic question we want to leave you with. It's one thing to get a company registered, but building one that's designed for success with a rock-solid foundation of compliance and strategic foresight, that's what will truly make you a winner in Bangladesh.